All right, so let's start with your introduction: name, age, pronoun, sexuality.
Yes, I am Kyle in real life, but I am nice to the singing dog. I am ancient. I am 35 years old. But I feel like I'm 20, but that's fine. It's fine. Real life, I am 35 years old. I am a dude. I like dudes. And is that it? I'm old. I'm so old. I'm fine.
What the
I'm having an existential crisis releasing my age. I'm still 23, okay. I swear.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, how old would you say that you were when you first realized your sexuality, and what made you realize it?
I guess the first time I realized I was gay was in high school, but I've always had feelings like that, like throughout my childhood, growing up to be an adult. It's kind of weird. Just the environment I grew in. The environment I grew in wasn't like crazy or anything. It was just like guys, like, we're gonna be with girls, and that's how it was. And girls were gonna be with guys, and that was it. It was just the time. I was in the 90s too, so it was like sort of accepted, but you kind of basically had Will and Grace, and then you called it a day, and Sex and the City. So it was like they were just people on TV. It was like whatever. But I felt that way for like most of my life, and then up until high school, I finally realized, oh my God, this isn't going away. I'm supposed to have girlfriends. What's happening? And so by the end of like my fourth girlfriend relationship, I was like, shit, okay, I have to do something. And I went as try to fix it, try to ignore it. But by the end of my high school year, my senior year, I gave up, and I was like, I'm just gonna be gay, and I'm just gonna keep my head down to college. And then I finally came out during college. But I guess by the end of high school, I just realized I was gay. And this is how this is gonna be. I can't do anything about it.
Who was the first person you came out to, and why exactly did you choose that person?
It was my brother and my sister. I hung out with them over Christmas in the winter at one point. Well, Christmas is in winter. And I chose them because we're just so close in my family. I feel like they were the ones that need to know first, and then I let my mom and my dad know. This was during my freshman year in college, where I already like came out to some of my friends and stuff like that. But like I would consider like as really intimate people in my life, they were the first ones I came out to, was my brother and sister. And then I came out to my family, my mom, my dad, but just my like central family, I guess, like just the main family. Everyone else kind of got a Facebook status that I was with a guy here, or I was at a Pride event there. They kind of got the short end of the stick. I gave no one the notice they probably deserved. It's like, surprise, Kyle's gay. But it was my brother and my sister first. Well.
How old were you when you actually came out?
I was 19, which I feel like is definitely later for a lot of people. It was on my freshman year. Maybe it was 18. Because my birthday's not till May, so I was 18. Yeah.
I want to say it'd be later. I mean, I didn't come out until 25, 24. Something around there.
That's cool. Okay. All right, good. Yeah.
I don't know.
I only did because, yeah.
Yeah, it feels much more comfortable when you're like, you don't have to worry about someone being like, oh, well, pack your thing together. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I have a lot of people come to me for advice, and since a lot of people that are on the younger side, I tell them most of your problems are seriously that you're inside a house of people and that you're not on your own. Once you're on your own, and like all these problems aren't real. And I hate to be that way. I try to be a lot nicer than that, but most of people's problems that I talk to is they need to get out of the fucking house. Like it's like you need to be on your own. You need to have but that was exactly it for me though too, Niles, because my school wasn't our school. I went to school for music, so everyone was gay, everyone was doing drugs, and just like everyone was exploring shit. So it was like, oh well, why? It wasn't even a big deal that I came out there. The big deal was coming out to my family. But I was in a room in UArts. So like I was on my own, well, in whatever way that was. And I think that's like the easiest way to make it happen. It's so much more stressful when you have like parent unit being like, we know what's best for you. We have to take care of you still. Like, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. For real, being on your own is like, oh, it's just so much easier to do it that way.
Oh yeah.
Johnny.
What would you say was the most challenging part of your coming out journey?
Honestly, I got way more shit for being a furry and doing all my nice stuff than the gay stuff. The hardest part though was coming out to my parents for sure. Not because they are literally the sweetest people in the world, but like when you're a kid and like you have to like come home from like Christmas vacation and like bring that up. Oh my God. For me, it was unbearable. I do not have the tolerance for that, but I was like, I have to. I just have no choice. It was like breaking up with girlfriends and like, oh my God, I just hate the feeling of like, oh my God, I gotta drop a bomb. And you want your parents to look like I do, at least want my parents to think like highly of me, like they've been there with me and supported me my whole life. And I was like, oh shit, like I don't know how they're gonna feel about this. They're always like, oh yeah, we don't care what you are. My mom's such a fucking sweetheart. She's always like, no, it doesn't matter. Like you have to do what works for you. Like it doesn't, like it's all about your path and your journey. But like you don't know parents are saying that because it's convenient. Like once you like let them know it's not, hey, it's not just like on the TV. It's like it's your child. They were super nice. They were really comforting about it. It was a little awkward, but I think that's because none of us knew what to do. It was such an awkward thing, but like after that, it was so chill. And I brought home boyfriends, and now I'm married to a dude, so everyone's good.
Wait, you guys are married?
We're about to be. We're engaged. I am so busy with work that we need to get the ball rolling, but it's my fault. So I just in my head, I just believe we're married. It's easier, but it's coming. It's the official is coming. We're in a house.
When you're engaged, I mean,
yeah.
When you're engaged, you might as well just say, "Hey, I'm married." Like it.
Yeah,
it's bound to happen.
Saying fiance is kind of dumb. He's my husband. Yeah. We're literally live in a house. it's coming. It's taking longer because Kyle is crazy and has a crazy life. But we'll get there.
Right.
His family wants a whole big thing, so I also don't want to like jump the ship and then them not get their big thing that they want. So I'm down. It all works out, guys. It all works out.
How would you say that your life has changed since coming out?
It's changed insanely. When you're that way, I tell people too, like even in the furry fam, it's the same thing. Like when you let yourself open yourself to the possibility of, hey, like I can express myself as authentically as I can try, like the world changes. When you are in a mindset where like you got to be worried about what everyone thinks about you, you're not sure if what you can do is cool or not, like, and you're just overall repressing stuff. Like it's just not a good vibe for yourself. You're doing yourself disservice. Now we can grow out of things, we can have flings, we can have ways that we see the world that changes, sure, but like the worst thing you can do to yourself is betray yourself by just suppressing things in. There's a time and place for everything, and that's what we're saying about the whole like when you're inside a house with your parents, probably not the best time, but hey, like life works the way it is. It's messy, it's complicated, and I think it's all about your whole world changes when you take ownership. Hey, like I have ways I want to live my life, and I'm going to follow that path. And I want it, and as long as you have like the best heart and you're in it for finding your way and expressing yourself, like it's going to be okay. It's going to be good. And like I said, it unlocks your world. It's just a different way you see the world. And that's what this all is about, is how you see the world. We like to think the world is like all out there and we're just little pieces in this whole big machine. But I swear to God, like most of the world is your own experience, and you can help that experience a lot by just tuning into what is going to be your way of expression. Hope that makes sense. Sometimes I ramble.
Well, that's good. Shit. That's what makes a good interview. What are the pros and cons that you have faced since coming out?
I have definitely been called the F word way too many. Well, I was also in Philly in like early 2000s, so it was like there was like RuPaul and there was Kesha, but like and Lady Gaga, but like sort of. It was like Lady Gaga's like second year of like existence. So it was like a way different world than it is now. And if you weren't like in cities, it was, I mean, I feel like it still has it. It's still a little spicy, depending on where you are. But I got a lot of flack. I didn't care. I was so madly in love with guys and having a good time, and it was worth it. I think like that's why I was saying it's so important about how you see the world, because you're gonna get shit all the time for whatever you do. When you don't fall in line with society, you're gonna get shit. So it's about you and how you see the world, and if this makes you happy, you have to focus on that, and not focus on getting the shit flung at you. But yeah, a lot of nasty names. A lot of people turned off from talking to me. A lot of people in high school just either didn't want to talk to me anymore, or just didn't know how to talk to me. Like I was some alien now, and I like went to the city and did all this stuff. Yeah. I mean, I was from a small town. But you know what? It maybe wasn't as bad as I thought about it. But I did part ways with a lot of people. And honestly, whatever. It was good. I didn't focus on it because you can't. You have to focus on the good parts. It's like, sure, I might have lost these people, but I've made all new friends and I've done all new things and I've had great relationships, and I can try to be me, however close I can get to myself of who I am. Never a perfect science, but it's worth it. It's the price. It is. Everything's a trade-off. It's the price to pay, but not an easy price.
That's one of the things that like irritates me, because like people will be like, well, I'm afraid to lose my friends. Well, if you lose your friends, that never
friends.
That yeah, exactly. They were never friends in the first place. If they couldn't accept you for who you came out to be, or who you always been, who you truly are, they were never your friends. Like so be happy that you had to kick them to the curb.
Yeah. I would add a footnote on that though, is just also like be patient with people, because I've had, even with the furry stuff, I've had people not talk to me because they're like, Kyle, why are you doing this shit? This is so weird. And like now that I've like kept doing it, they're like, oh, okay, I guess this is like a thing. Like I've had family members be like that too. They're like, oh, I guess the gay thing wasn't a phase. Like sometimes people just need their own time to process, and it's so easy for it to look like they're just dicks. But really, it's like you got it also. Not, you really don't have to do anything. It's your life. But if sometimes there are some relationships and some friendships that are salvageable, they're really not a big deal. But the person it doesn't have the maturity or the ability to process it. And sometimes they need some time. That's up to you if you want to give them the time, of course. But sometimes I've had things like that too, where it was like a gray area. And I got shit in the beginning, but then they were like, but I agree with you 100%. Like, sometimes you just have to stress test relationships. Sometimes you just have to be like, okay, cool. We were so fun when we would all go out and like get Wendy's and shit and vibe. But now when real shit comes, let's see if you're still a friend. Sorry. Welcome to life.
All right. So there is a couple of questions that I added on for season 2 of this. So we want to get into the personal side of you, like get to know you as a person better. Do it. Do you have a funny or embarrassing story that you can tell us? Do you have a funny or embarrassing story that you can tell us that has happened through your coming out journey? Like someone ended up catching you being gay or stuff like that.
Oh, my best ones are furry, but I really should do a gay one and stay on topic. It's funny, my gay and my furry journey has been like intertwined. They're like kind of in the same. I have a couple. I'm going to say the one about my sister, because my sister always loves telling me this one. So while it was winter, we all went to Las Vegas, and I told her in the elevator, and she was like on the younger side. Like she's older now. We're all older, and we're all cool doing cool shit. But she was younger at this point, and I remember telling her in the elevator, just like I had to like break to her and then my brother, and she just like couldn't do anything but just fucking laughed the whole time, and like we're like awkwardly walking back to our hotel room in the casino, and it's just like just laughing, and I was like, it was the most horrible fucking feeling. I was like, God, this is like one of the first people I'm gonna tell. Like, and this is how it goes. Oh my God. Yeah, that was it. I have way better ones as a furry, but that was probably a spicy one for me, for sure. But now we look back on it, it was hilarious. More spicy because I was like, oh God, like I needed like all the encouragement, and like I should not have relied on that for anyone. I should just, I was like, if this is how it's gonna be, oh shit. No going back now.
This one's probably going to be like a hard one. So if you need a second, just
Let's do it.
let me know. So like I said, I want to know you, or everybody probably wants to know you onto a personal scale. Can you tell the followers or people or whatever, the followers of you, 3 things that people would be shocked to know about you?
Okay. I guess the first one is I have perfect pitch, so I can hear notes. So like I can I basically went through music school and cheated. If that's if that's what it was, let's get personal. A lot of music theory classes, I could just fucking there's like you do stuff in music called dictation and stuff, and you got to really like practice. I didn't practice. I didn't do homework in school. I paid all this money in tuition to just cheat through school. Though I will say though, it was so amazing to get the degree, to get the experience, and to connect with people. Like that's why I was, and to like hone in my skills. Like all I learned in skills was being nice, but the fucking classwork, I just fucking cheated because I can just hear the notes and I can just write out the sheet music. Yeah. So I perfect pitch. I gotta be honest though, I don't have it anymore, which I know is that weird. I'm pretty sure this is C, but this could also be B major. This song, it's in that range though, or it could be C sharp. Over a while, I started losing the muscle, but I would write out dictation. Like I didn't even have to study. Everyone was like, okay, well, like this is what a quarter note is, and this is how like the drums would sound this way. I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. But there was that. I used that for a while. What's another one?
I told you it's gonna be some thinking.
No, I'm trying to figure out which weird parts about me are worth telling you.
Insert Jeopardy music.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. I used to be afraid of dogs my whole life. Like literally my whole life. I used to be a cat person. Now, if anyone knows me, I have 2 dogs, and I've had a cat and 2 dogs, and now we have chickens. But when I was growing up, I was afraid of dogs for sure. Which is so funny that my life is all centered around dogs. But that's because when I would go over to my grandfather's house, they had Samoyeds. If you know them, they're like medium-sized, like puffy, like snowball dogs, and they're like. But as a kid, you're just like, oh my God. And I resonated with cats as a kid because they were so chill, and they were just like the chill ones on the couch. But yeah, okay, and I have a third one. Okay, I figured it out. I was trying to figure out how weird do I want to get with these ones that are entertaining, but they have to be entertaining. And the third one is, and I love people to come up to me about advice. If you ever want advice about this stuff, I used to be not this talkative. I used to not be this energetic. I used to be very depressed. I had a stuttering problem. I really didn't have a lot of friends. And towards the end of high school and into college, and I think a lot of that was compensating for being gay and not having to express that, I got really good at like talking with people and doing shit like that. I used to be really sheltered as a kid. I had a hard time talking, literally like stuttering. I've had people say it's because of a breathing thing. And I actually took speech therapy for breathing, but mine wasn't breathing. Mine was like a mental thing. It was like I had so much I wanted to say, but I was afraid of saying it and afraid of I grew up in a very like loud household. So it was like a lot of like, you got good at talking, but not me. I was just had a hard time getting on the level with all my family. I love them all, but I was just like, it's the whole thing was me growing up to like be able to be strong talking. And I got there eventually, but not in the beginning. I had a hard time making friends. I had a hard time talking. I was a stutterer for a while. So if anyone has any issues about like how do you talk to people, things like that. I learned the whole thing when I was older, and it was funny. My way was really weird. I used to just like eventually, shit you not, just watch movies, watch all the movies the kids are watching, and learn all the funny things. When I was in high school, Napoleon Dynamite came out. That's how old I am. Napoleon Dynamite came out, and so I memorized all those fucking words, and I would just like say them to the guys. Like it was so easy. Like, and that's a big thing too. We'll make it number 4. I never had any guy friends. I haven't had guy friends until I joined the furry fandom, which is really weird. And you are, it's kind of, but like I was like gay. I've always like been hung around with girls and stuff like that. So I always had a weird thing with guys, which is like, it's kind of dumb, but that's just how I was. And that was the one way I started getting guy friends. I just started learning all like the fucking lines from movies that were funny. And it was just like, eventually I was like, oh, I can really say things that matter and talk. But that was like my door into it. So if anyone, I know that all sounds crazy, but trust me, I've learned in my life that a lot of people go through stuff like that. If anyone ever does, please hit me up. I love talking through people, stuff like that. I am way more talkative and loud now than I would ever imagine that I'd be. Even doing this interview would be an impossibility. Yes. Like, absolutely not.
Wow. Back then, I would have been like maybe 2 minutes long.
Yeah, no, I would have shown. I would have had like a panic attack.
I'm shocked one of yours that you didn't talk about was Henry the Singing Cockroach.
Yes, Sebastian. I would love to talk about some. Do you want to talk about Sebastian? I can talk real quick. So Sebastian is Nice 1.0. So I was at UArts and I worked at Cozy. If anyone knows what Cozy is, it's like a Panera Bread. It's like a Starbucks-ish thing. Starbucks is right across the street. I don't know how we set up shop with them and didn't die, but whatever. I worked at Cozy and I was like making bread and making coffees and stuff like that. And I went to school for musical theater, like to write songs, and I wanted to do movies and like songs and musical theater. But like I needed something to do, and that's when YouTube was really young. If anyone wants to know why I have youtube.com/nice as my channel name, that's because I'm old as shit. And when I was on there, I didn't start out with Nice, like I didn't know furries yet, but I did. I wanted to have something where it was like a coffee shop worker, and then they would do songs and stuff. If anyone's seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog with Neil Patrick Harris in his old days, that's what it was inspired from. Awesome musical. And that was it. I had the cockroach. It was basically Nice 1.0. I was so frustrated by it though, because I had to do the puppetry, I had to do the singing, I had to do like the video. It was so hard to like be a puppeteer and like puppet everything. And then once I found about furries, I was like, whoa, you don't have to have a puppet. You can wear the fucking puppet. Like you can be the thing. It's just so much easier. And I was like, yo, and I love all this furry stuff. Like I'm just going to have Sebastian be nice. Yeah, Sebastian the Singing Cockroach is literally Nicest Singing Dog. Like the beta test. That's awesome. Yeah, that was my last year of college, and then I moved up to New York City, and then I worked for music houses, and then I found about furries, and then I became nice. That's awesome.
I'm glad you know about the cockroach. Look at my source. I'm gonna have to look at my source. It said Henry.
Yeah, I will tell you, it's hard. It's hard to find, but I had someone at a con recently I can't find the videos. This kid pulled all the archives of Sebastian and then gave them to me. I was like, yes! So I have the videos again. If you want one, I can throw you one. It's hilarious.
I definitely want them. I definitely want them.
I'll find one, tell her to you. I was so happy he archived them. He's like, oh yeah, I archive all kinds of rich shit on the internet. I'm like, I am so happy you did that because I cannot find it. I made the fucking thing. Nice. That's great. I'll send it to you.
Heck yeah. All right. So, on. All right. So this is the last question. Like I said, I want to answer it. I want you to look directly into the audience.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who is struggling to come out and be open with who they are?
I will look into the camera dramatically. I forget to look into the camera the whole time. But yes. Okay. So I feel like I've sort of said it across the length of this interview, but let me condense it and organize it. Step 1, follow. Do not suppress for the love of God. Even if you feel like it might be something weird, it's a journey you have to it's worth it for you to take. And things come in seasons. Sometimes it's a phase, sometimes it's a full thing. Be forgiving, be open, be humble. You are a traveler through life. Everyone around you is going to tell you that black is black and white is white and 0 is 0 and 1 is 1, and that's not true. That's not how the world works. The world starts from you. You are the shout and the echo. You are just as much of this world as everyone else is. They do not have all of the knowledge, and you don't either. And I think that's what makes it fun. You have to just be open-minded, explore what you need to explore. Dear God, don't pull anyone into your chaos. Try to make it your own thing. And just explore. A big part about this, and I've told this to many people who ask me for advice, is if you're under a roof with parents, with guardians, understand that they have your best interest legally and I hope emotionally. So just respect that shit. It's so easy to be like, I want to leave my parents. And I get that. I have been a kid. I feel that. I felt like it was yesterday. But trust me, like, you'll get out in the world. It's hard to be patient, but there's a time for it. And when you're on your own is usually it. But it doesn't mean that you can't start thinking to yourself and being open and trying to figure out what your life's like. It is something you have to do no matter what. Repressing it is the dumbest thing you can do. It makes the worst people in our society. And I think you're all loving people that want to see the best side of you. And it is not going to be fun. It is going to be an amazing story to tell yourself when it's all done. But it will be brutal and magical. But that's life. We like to think life is like this. If it's painful, it's wrong. Like, life is about growth first and foremost. And growth is not fun. We all hated growing as kids. We all hate getting in our new teeth. We all hated being weird and our bodies changing. Like, growth is the thing. It's all about it. And it's not just physical. It's personal. It's deep. And you're going to love the story when it ends. We always hate it in the moment. But I swear it is something worth doing. And it's not as complicated as it is. A big thing about life is just enjoying life. So try to be open-minded with yourself. Try to be humble. Be like, hey, I feel this way about things, about life. I need to explore this. It's not just about sexuality, too. That's about literally everything. Because you're going to have a culture. You're going to have a society that's going to put up roadblocks for you. And you just have to be careful to be like, I respect your roadblock, but I also, for myself, need to see what's on the other side. Yeah. I'm hoping that wasn't too vague, but I don't also want to narrow the box for anyone because everyone has a different journey. So I try to make that as general as I could without making it too vague. Mostly at the end of the day, it comes from you and how you experience life. And you should always experience life with an open heart, an open hand, ready to take on whatever. It's so easy for us to be scared, but dear God, if it's scary, it's worth it.